I would like to begin by asking you, in your opinion, what are the main challenges that the meetings industry is facing nowadays?
Oh, how much time do we have? I don't think we have challenges. I think we have things that we need to tackle for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's actually a new playbook of events, because if in the past we used to compare to the pre-COVID events, now we need to speak in a completely different language, different terminology, because the purpose and the objective of bringing people together has changed from a professional perspective, from an organizational perspective. So if somebody in the past used to come for an event for education, for professional growth, for accreditation, it's still valid.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also looking for immersive experiences. They're looking for long-lasting connections and strong networking. They look for personal growth. So we as an organizer, or we as the community in the event industry, need to understand that, how do we facilitate this new demands that are coming from our audience? So that's one thing. So it's not a challenge. We just need to understand how we facilitate that. The other thing is, a lot of people are, talking about the generation gap, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I actually don't call it the generation gap. I call it the skill set gap, because it's the first time that we have to serve all generations that are coming to our events. But also as an employer, I have to know how to manage now all generations in one workplace. And I see even, some of our team leaders, some of our mid-management that coming with different skill set. So if you're Gen Z or Gen X or baby boomer, you have different skill set. Not saying it is bad or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to understand how you mitigate this skill set in order for them to succeed in their work. So I guess these are the things. And of course, everybody will see the third one is AI, but I'm super excited about AI, but maybe we can talk about it later.
For sure. But I was going to ask you if do you think that event planners, congress organizers are being able to deliver or to fulfill those expectations that you were talking about?
So it really depends on the type of the event you're doing. So I guess the quick answer is no, but not because the event organizer don't want to. It really depends on the type of the event and the type of your client you serve. So we work a lot with association, medical, scientific, life science associations, and many of them are very traditional in the way they conduct their events and the way they want to have their educational program.
Mm-hmm.
So for them, doing the same all 20 years, that's totally fine.
It's okay.
And we're trying to find ourselves pushing to get, from a meeting design perspective, from impact, legacy, sustainability. So we find ourselves in the seat of the pusher to make those changes because we understand, as you said, the challenges that we have to cater to all, we said all generation and different purposes and objectives. So that's one type. You look at corporate events, they're in a different place. They understand better the audience. They are more flexible. They're more agile. Mm-hmm. And in Canis, we also have our own portfolio of events, what we call original events. There, we're very flexible in what we can do. We own the meeting, so we're trying to do our best in when it comes to innovation, meeting design, immersive experience, and so on.
Mm-hmm. And I believe that for associations and for the events that they run, it's always important to make sure that at the end of the day, you have enough money for 1 year, 2 years of activities and so on and so on. Is this a burden for
it's not a burden because it was always one of our targets. When we set targets, for now, we're setting targets for 26. It's not only about our financial target as a client. We also put the targets to our people about the client's profit, because it's true. Association, they're very dependent on the revenue coming from their annual or biannual events. One of the challenges that they are facing now is how do they diversify those revenue sources, not being only dependent on events. But absolutely, this is what I call mission critical, and we want to make sure that we maximize their profit, and they will be happy. I will be happy. It's a win-win situation. And we do it by helping them grow, We have a very strong marketing team, and we do a lot of event and marketing promotion, help them grow with number of delegates. We do it with the sponsorship and exhibitors to increase year by year and to make sure that they live with higher revenue. It's also dependent very much on the destinations, and then we support them with the site selection of the right destination that fits their needs.
Mm-hmm. And how do you see the role of a local PCO nowadays? Are they still useful? Are they playing an important, a relevant role?
Yeah, local PCOs are relevant for their own national markets. We, as a global player, we work on international, European, regional events. In some cases, we work with the local PCO, whether he has the right networks, whether he's managing the local society, and then we collaborate together. So I think there is always a need because, again, still is the national market to serve. So they always need, and when they do a good job as a professional Congress organizers, we all benefit from that because it reflects on our industry.
Mm-hmm. You talk about sustainability, and of course, it's always a topic. Do you think that nowadays things changed because we've been talking about sustainability on events for many, many years? Well, is it? Do you see something different today?
Yes, I think again, being at the driver's seat and pushing our clients to make sure that we having a more sustainable events. If you look at the in last year in 2025, first of all, it's the second year we already certified for ISO sustainable events, and that was critical for us as a company. We're also a part of UN Global Impact, so that's from a company point of view.
Mm-hmm. And sorry, just going to ask you why certification was so important for you.
Because I think sustainability became also part of our DNA as a company. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to make sure we are up to date with all the new policies and regulation in place. And so it was important for us to get the certificate. It was for us. I haven't seen an RFP or a bid out there that requires a PCO that has the certificate. I think it was important for us internally as a company.
Okay.
And if you look at our events, our global events during 2025, I think about 80% of them had using our direction and guidance, had sustainable action according to the US SDGs. So for each Congress, we select together with the client 3 or 4 UN SDGs that are important for them. Mm-hmm. And we made sure that there are significant actions that were done towards those UN SDGs. And in about, I would say, 15% of them, we also did a complete measurement, carbon footprint measurement of the event. We work with Trace by Isla, if you know, and that will continue to grow.
Okay. And how about legacy?
Yes.
We also talk a lot. We hear a lot about legacy. How do you see this challenge?
First of all, I think it's super critical that if an event, conference, congress goes to a destination, they leave something. I did it when I was the president of IAPCO, the International Association of Professional Congress Organizer, and we had our small board meeting that has meeting in person in different cities. We wanted to make sure we don't go in and out. So we do something for the local stakeholders. We do a half a day just to contribute something to the education of the local stakeholders within the event industry. This is a small example, but I think it's critical, especially when you work with medical association, that they keep something, which is called legacy, to the destination. And we see more and more cases, again, being the one who's pushing forward with our clients to do something with the local community, with the local associations. And we have some really nice case studies. I think a very good example is what wonderful Copenhagen is doing with their legacy lab. And we have a big event coming up in March in Copenhagen, and we work very closely with them to compile a very comprehensive legacy program.
Mhm. Well, I believe that both on sustainability, but also on legacy, convention bureaus have a key role.
Absolutely.
Are they coping with this?
I would say the majority of them, yes, understand the need. They can put us in contact with maybe the right people, the right organization, but the majority of them cannot actually. They don't have the research to facilitate. So we are taking more responsibility, and it's fine as long as they put us in contact with the right people and the right organization. Brainstorm with us with ideas, and we'll execute. Of course, they can take a more they can obviously help us in executing as well, but we can manage also on our own.
Okay. And now we can go to technology and to AI. Where do you see more opportunities for technology and for AI in specific to impact events and to transform events in the future?
I look at it from two directions, one internally and then externally. Internally, for us as a company, how can we be more efficient using technology, automation, AI, and so on, and not in a sense that okay, we can afford ourselves to have less people because we now have automation, is that we want to have the ability to do more with the same amount of people. So that's looking internally, and then externally, of course, everybody speaks about the need that AI can help us with bring personalization when it comes to program, when it comes to scientific, managing the scientific program and so on and so forth. And there's things we are already doing. Just give you 3 examples of things that we are already doing right now. So one is called AI Abstract. So we have already built through machine learning a model that, in scientific meetings, many of the delegates submit their abstract, their research, in order to be able to present it in the conference. So what we did, building on learning the last 3, 4, 5 years of the submission and what scoring they get from the reviewing committee, we now can give you kind of a sense what is the probability that you will be accepted as an abstract submitter. Not only that, we will give you tips and guidance how you improve your abstract to improve your likeliness to be accepted as an abstract submitter. So that's one thing that already changing the way people submit and their research. The second thing is we have like others, we have what we call AI session summary. So if you missed the session, within 20 minutes, you have a very detailed summary of the session with key takeaways and the highlights that you can quickly read. And maybe afterwards, you can go see the recording if it was recorded. And obviously AI translation, but that's already there. The next level will help us really ensure that our delegates will have immersive experience, starting with personalized signage. So you enter the venue, you see, hi Ori, welcome. Your next session is the hall A. You go over there to the right, and by the way, you see a banner with a personalized ad from one of our sponsor. And then you go there because the app already planned your agenda based on your needs, based on your interests. So you didn't have to go through all the agenda. And then at noontime, it will match you with the right person with high level networking done by AI, which you can do today, but you have to, fill your profile. What do you want to meet? Who do you want to meet? The other one needs to fill his profile. That will be done automatically. So this will be the next level of immersive experiences. Of course, I'm not speaking about robots that might replace some of the things, but that's maybe in 5 years time.
Mm-hmm. But we start listen to talk about, for instance, to create digital twins from the audiences and start adapting events even before they happen. How do you see that possibility?
Absolutely. I mean, we will have digital twins that will help us manage better the flow of the event. I can tell you, we do a conference called G4I, Government for Impact, about governmental tech and digital transformation. And the next edition, we're doing a special a track for mayors about city digital twins. So how do you manage a city from traffic lights to utilities to electricity, water, using the digital twin? So if they can do it, we can definitely do it.
And how important is for you to be connected with an association like ICCA?
We have just been acknowledged 50 years members of ICCA. So Kenneth Group has joined ICCA in 1975. We've joined IAPCO in 1972. So we were actually, our founder of the company was one of the founding fathers of IAPCO. It's super important to be connected with your community. It's more than that. I personally, I think it's you need to give back to the community, because as I said earlier, we all going to benefit from it. That's why I served for 7 years on the board of IAPCO, took a year break, and now for the last year, I'm a board member of PCMA, because I think it's very important to give back. Give back because it will, if we enhance the quality of our delivery, of our services, we all going to benefit from that. So we have a lot of industry associations, maybe too much. So for a different discussion, but it's necessary that they will be engaged, involved, in order to promote things like legacy, sustainability, impact. It's very important, because we need to go away from speaking only on the economic impact that events bring on destination, which is true. They bring a lot of value, but what else? What else are we bringing on a social level?
A lot. But
yeah.
Do you think that outside the industry, this is perceived?
No, we're not good in advocating what we do. And if somebody asks me even my mother, she doesn't understand what I'm doing, and it's very complex to explain. I get it. It's very difficult to explain outside. And even here, I heard, speaking people from, let's say, EU speak about tourism. We are not tourism. We need to separate ourselves from the tourism terminology. We are the business event industry, and what we do brings significant impact on social. I mean, I think we're very privileged, and I always tell this to my staff, to my team members, that Kenneth's mission statement was always to facilitate the exchange of professional knowledge. And the work we do, when we bring doctors, researchers, scientific people together, at the end of the day, can improve patient care, can save lives. So we are very privileged in what we do, and it's important to remember that.
Mm-hmm. And what would you like to take from this Congress in Porto?
Oh, that's a very good question. I like to see, in this type of events, I would like to see what is the vision of our industry for the next 5-10 years. How do we see the event industry evolve? And what do we need to do today in order to be prepared for that?
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.